What's up? This is Keith from Buckcherry. You're listening to Collision on Voice FM.
Hi, Keith.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. You're, of course, the guitarist and one of the founding members with Buckcherry, but let's start actually, because you're not just a founding member with Buckcherry, you're one of the founding members twice over, because you guys actually broke up and then started again.
That is correct.
So what did you do even in the interim years, like the 3 or 4 years you weren't in Buckcherry?
Well, I did a lot of yoga. I played a lot of golf. I meditated a lot. I'm kidding. I'm joking around. I just try to stay busy. I've been writing songs and working for a record producer and just trying to learn more about the craft of making records and writing songs. You know, the creativity didn't stop, but even though the band went, took some time off. So I stayed very busy.
Were you still working with Josh a bit during that time?
No, Josh had gone off to do a solo project.
Right. So can I ask then what led to the decision of you two actually reforming Buckcherry? And, I mean, it was so successful when you did, so it was a great decision.
I don't think it was anything groundbreaking. We had reconnected socially over some stuff, and we just started talking about maybe getting in the room and making some racket. And one thing led to another, some songs were written, and there you go. We called up some of our friends, Xavier, Jimmy, and Stevie, and decided to continue on with the band. I haven't looked back since.
Yeah, and you guys are actually going to be heading to Australia, and I get the feeling you have maybe a little bit of an affinity with Australia because it was AC/DC who actually influenced you starting Buckcherry.
Yeah, I mean, one of our all-time favorite bands. We come from very different musical backgrounds, but that was one of the bands that we both looked to as a major influence in common. So that was good.
Yeah. Have you guys actually met them at all? Because they spend more time in America than Australia nowadays.
We actually were lucky enough to support them on a tour a number of years ago and did get a chance to meet them, and they were very, very awesome and very, very cool.
Oh, that's great. How many times have you actually played in Australia?
I think we've been there 2, maybe 3 times. Once in the old day with the original band, and I think twice with this lineup since 2005.
Right. It must be strange when actually going to foreign countries the other side of the world, you sort of have trouble remembering how many times you've been there after a while.
Yeah, I mean, we've been on the road so much, we've been all over the globe. But, I definitely remember, I'm definitely more aware of the places we haven't been. Right? We haven't been to China and places like that, so it's definitely those places that we want to make sure we get to. But I can tell you this, we're very excited to return to Australia, very, very excited.
Yeah, and that tour is actually starting in March, the 13th of March. You're starting that in Auckland before you've come here. Have you been to New Zealand before?
We have been to New Zealand, I think, once before.
Right. Well, with all the travelling and that, obviously you love it, otherwise you wouldn't still be doing it. So when you were young, did you know you were going to, did you want to be in a travelling rock band?
I really had no idea what I was getting myself into. But it's all been a very pleasant surprise. We do something for a living that, 20 years ago we would never have dreamed that this was a possibility for us. So, I mean, it's very exciting, and we don't take it for granted for sure.
What led to you learning to play the guitar in the first place?
I started playing the guitar because I wanted to write songs. That was really what got me started down that path. So, yeah, it came from really wanting to write songs. I was a drummer before that. It's hard to write songs on the drums.
So how long's it been since you've actually been playing drums in a band at all?
Oh, geez, 18, 19 years old, so it's been a long time. If I'm a kid every once in a while, but I wouldn't say I'm a drummer anymore, that's for sure.
No. Well, it is the latest album that you're actually touring here. That was released in August last year. Rock and Roll, the album is.
Yeah, that's our latest effort, and we have a deluxe version coming out very soon. I think it's coming out in Australia. We have a really awesome duet that we did that with Gretchen Wilson joined us for a song, and the duet with Josh's vocal on The Feeling Never Dies, and that's going to be on the deluxe version. Very excited.
Right, yeah. And this is your 7th studio album, so how long do you guys actually tour the world with this? Because it is only a few months since it was released, so have you still got to go and hit Europe and everywhere before you finish your cycle?
Yes, you're alive. We're going to do another lap around the United States, Canada and Europe and Japan and Australia and New Zealand and hopefully South America.
And hopefully, if anyone's listening, China too.
China would be great.
If you had to tell your fans what the new album Rock and Roll means to you, what would you say?
I mean, I think what it means to me is it's just a rock and roll band making rock and roll music, you know. That doesn't seem to be very popular these days, but, you know, we're not really overthinking anything. We're a bunch of guys in a rock and roll band, and that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, and it's not popular if you listen to commercial radio, but it is if you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will actually tell people too, the tour, it hits Australia on the 14th of March in Melbourne at 170 Russell. The 15th you're in Brisbane, the 18th in Sydney and the 19th in Perth. So you do get a couple of days off in Australia. Have you got a favourite thing to do when you're in Australia and you've got a couple of days off?
You know, we haven't really had that much downtime in Australia, so this is going to be a new experience, and I'm really looking to really get in and see what's going on. Can you recommend anything?
Well, you're going to be up around Brisbane, Sydney area. You're definitely going to have to go to the beach.
I'm down. Somebody told me that I need to stand up some kangaroo. I haven't ever had kangaroo, so that would be interesting.
Yeah. I'll tell people too, they can find you at facebook.com/Buckcherry, and your official website is buckcherry.com.
And they can follow us on Twitter at Buckcherry and on Instagram at Buckcherry Worldwide.
Yeah, we've got links on your website for that, buckcherry.com. So
go to the website, it's all there.
Actually, where did the name come from?
The name Buckcherry?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a secret. I can't tell you that.
Damn, okay. I'll let you keep your secret. Is there something you want to say to your fans about your upcoming tour?
We're so excited to return to Australia, and we cannot wait to rock your faces off. We'll see you soon.
Awesome, and people should definitely hurry up and get hold of their tickets. And thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in March.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too, bye.
Bye.